Thank you everyone for being here today. And I'm very excited and emotional and honored to be part of this event. And thank you very much for attending my speech today. We rarely think about the environmental impact of our digital lives. We assume that internet is invisible, but it's not. Every click, every video, every product page we visit, every checkout, everything we did online, every video we see, leaves a carbon footprint. And today, we'll explore how e-commerce can lead the way in sustainability without sacrificing growth, speed, or user experience. E-commerce has transformed the way we shop. It's fast, convenient, and ever-growing. But here's the question. At what cost to the environment? If internet was a country, it would be the fourth largest polluter, and like the entire United Kingdom, just to make you a comparison. We are close to Miami. I've been to Miami a few days ago, and a city that, according to scientists, will be underwater in less than 100 years. And this is why, because of pollution, because of our emissions, and because we are heating up the planet so much, and we are melting ice caps, and this is creating the raising of the oceans. So also internet, the data centers, and everything is contributing to this crisis. So if we can do something, small steps, to change the way we do business online, we can also be part of this solution. Before we dive in, let me add something more to what Marcia added about me, and thank you for the introduction. And I started in 2014 the Italian community of Magento after 6 years of working for Magento. I started in 2008 with the Magento 1.3, I guess, one of the first versions. And then I get passionate about and started spreading in Italian and translating content and pushing information to all the people. And now, after 10 years, now 11 years of Magentiamo, I'm happy to share this news with you that I'll be organizing also the Meet Magento Italy in autumn, let's say. And 3 years ago, with the experience of Magentiamo, helping many merchants and with custom solution, building e-commerce, doing many kind of services, we also started doing managed hosting for clients. And that's why 3 years ago, I decided to put all my focus on hosting, starting Bhoost, a green hosting company. Why green? Because since I started this company, I wanted to create also something that has an impact. So I started investigating, and I decided to run all the websites for our clients on green data centers. And now I'm happy to announce you that recently, last month in January, Bhoost has been acquired by a biggest hosting company in Italy called Host, that is another green hosting company with 40 people in the team, so we can provide better services to our customers. So the topics that I will introduce to you today are basically three: the environmental impact of e-commerce, the internet carbon footprint, and the web sustainability guidelines. Let's start with the environmental impact of e-commerce. When we talk about the environmental impact of e-commerce, we are looking mainly at three major areas: shipping and logistics, so the way we deliver products to our customers, packaging and waste, so what happens with the materials that we use, and internet and data centers, the hidden cost of running an online store. Let's break this down. So shipping and logistics. Think about your last online orders. You just click buy now, you can fill the checkout, and within hours or few days, you get the package at your home, right? So fast delivery feels like magic, but behind it, there's a massive carbon footprint. In Amazon Logistics alone, emitted in 2023 5.8 million metric tons of CO2. And just to give you an example, this is like driving a gas-powered car around the Earth 580,000 times. And this is not just Amazon. Think about your clients. Any merchants here? No merchants, okay. Agencies, okay. So think about all the job that you do for your agency or your clients. Every commerce contributes to this, not only Amazon. So one of the biggest offenders of the shipping and logistics is the last mile delivery, because instead of shipping products to just one single place, we prefer, obviously, to get the product shipped to our own homes. So it accounts to be part of 53% of all the emissions, the last mile delivery. And also another important polluter is all the air and ground freight. So just shipping the products and moving products from one country to another with air transportation has a 10 times higher carbon footprint than transport only on ground. So, and that's like last point, there's all the returns and the reverse logistics. Because there are about 30% of online orders that are returned back to the companies, and this means the double of the emission, of the transport emissions. And it is getting worse because many return products don't even go back into the company. They prefer to leave, and they end up in landfills, because for these companies, it costs less to throw the products in landfills than to recycle them or to resell them, you know? And this leads us to the second point, the packaging and waste. There's another alarming stats. E-commerce packaging waste alone contributes to 25 million metric tons of CO2 emissions every year. That's enough to cover New York City in smog for an entire year. So that's a lot. So main problem of packaging and waste, it creates a lot of plastics and microplastics around the world. And we all receive maybe often small products in a big box, and this is a waste of a lot of paper and stuff. So we can obviously find packaging that are more comfortable also for transportation, because if we transport small packages in small products in big packages, we need more space in trucks and in flights. So we need to optimize a lot what we ship and the way we ship them. And then, as a last point, we have all the return and reverse logistics that we spoke about. And the third point of the most accountable things that nobody is talking about is internet. Because internet, we live in the cloud area. So what do you think when we talk about clouds? It's something that you cannot touch, so it doesn't exist, you know? But everything is stored into a data center inside a computer. And so every visit, every website visit, every online transaction, every image that we see, every video is not in the clouds. I mean, clouds does not exist. They are stored inside physical servers that need energy to be powered. So let's see some data about the internet carbon footprint. In 2023 alone, all the data centers around the globe consume 340 terawatt hours of electricity. It is almost 1.3% of the global electricity used all over the world. And the alarming stats is that by 2030, so in less than 5 years, it will be expected to consume at least at 8–10%. So the consumption and the forecast for the next few years is increasing at very high levels. And as you can see, data centers consume a very small part of the pie of the global energy consumption, but is growing year by year. And now with the intelligence, artificial intelligence, and all the server that we need to run all this information, we need even more power. So what we can do to reduce this impact? We can follow some simple rules about the web sustainability guidelines. So what is sustainable web design? Sustainable web design is a hybrid blend of environmental conservation principles and performance-based web and usability standards. These practices can be applied to the lifecycle of any website, application, or online media and maximize the efficiency, increase usability, and improve performance. And before applying for this kind of speech, I wanted to talk more about performance because it's what I'm doing for the last 3 years, talking about core web vitals and talking about performance, how to improve Magento performance and so on. And I always put a small focus on sustainability. But now, today, I'm happy to share with you more information about this because we are all performance people here, agencies, UVA, and many other stuff. But I think this concept of sustainable web design should be talked more around. So sustainable web design is based basically on 4 main principles. The first one, you can see on the specific website, the sustainablewebdesign.com, and the principles are 4. So web performance optimization, so we need to put a lot of focus on improve the performance on our website because the most quickly is a website is loaded, the less time a user needs to get information and also improve the conversion rate, of course. But then it consumes also less energy to give the information to the user. Then the usability. We need also not think about just the performance, but also the usability. I mean, how quickly can all the user accomplish all the tasks since they come from an advertising, go to a product page, go to checkout, fill the checkout. So this is the usability. So the faster a user can do all this process, the less data it will consume. Third point, the content findability. So how is easier for our customers, for the users to find the contents out our website? Maybe we do an ads, a user come to a product which is not the right product, go to the footer, look for another product, go in the menu, and is not able to find very quickly the information. So we need to put a lot of focus also to the usability and the findability of the contents. And last and not least, the green web hosting. So it's very important to understand where we host our products and demystify a bit the concept of clouds. Because clouds, as I said, is just, I don't want to say a lie, but something like this, because everything is stored inside a physical support, okay? And just a quick overview on the sustainable web design is based on other principles of the Sustainable Web Manifesto that you can sign to support this cause on sustainablewebmanifesto.com. So what we can do at this point to do something, to have a small impact. So we have 3 things that we can do. We can do one of the simplest things that is helping the planet to get more oxygen and reduce the CO2, which is very simple, plant more trees. And you can do through some kind of association. And now I'll show you some and the action that I take personally a few years ago. You can make your website faster and more efficient, and you can switch to a green hosting. With Magentiamo, my brand that I started 10 years ago in Italy, I was not just selling services to people, but it was a real community in Italy. And on the last event, we planted a small forest in Guatemala. So we planted 100 trees through this association, Zero CO2. And this had a small but big impact for local communities. So not only giving more oxygen in the air, but also helping local communities. So instead of just doing business for money, I'm happy to do also something that can have an impact. I mean, in my little world, I can do something, and I think every one of us can do something more. Not just for helping local communities, but also for the planet, because we are in a very dangerous moment now. I don't know if you heard about the last problem that there was in Spain for the big rain, and also in Italy, and there are a lot of changes during this time. So what can you do to make your website faster and more efficient? Speed matters, and we know how Magento can be slow sometimes. Now there's a big, for me, it's important to talk also about UVA, not only for being responsible of changing the Magento world in providing a tool for developers, for agency, for merchants to improve their performance, but they are also doing something for sustainability and improve, and they have an impact, not just with the community of Magento community, but for all the ecosystem. So I don't want to bother you about Core Web Vitals because maybe all of you knows what they are and what they are all about. So I can skip this, but as you know, they are just, not just, there are a couple of metrics created by Google to create a standard for the web usability and performance. So it's very important to take care of these metrics and work hard with our Magento platform to make them faster, not just to sell more, but to make our customers happier, but also to reduce the data consumption of the servers. So last point of the actionable that you can do is switching to a green hosting. So what is a hosting? Is a simply where is when we think about a website, we need to store this website inside a physical server. So the idea of cloud, sorry if I repeat myself, needs to come down to earth because internet is physical. And a data center, for those who doesn't know, is just something like this, a place where are stored a lot of computers, and most of the data centers around the globe are powered by fossil fuel energy. But a lot of companies are switching to green energy, which means that they are powered by solar or wind or water power energy. And that's the focus I wanted to put on my company 3 years ago, and the company that has acquired my company recently is a green hosting. And we have now data center in Italy, 3, 1 in Turin, 1 in Pisa, and they are all powered with certification by clean energy. So this is one of the data centers that we have in Italy, and this is actually a real photo I took in Pisa a few weeks ago, and the company is called Host. But how can you check if your website is hosted green? There is a website called the Green Web Foundation that lists all the green web hosting companies. And I applied a few years ago, and they made all the checks, and they give us this kind of certification. And you can check if your website or the website of your customers is green or not. And this is good also to show and to give a small impact on the website of your customers or your website to show your compromise to do something for the planet. Sometimes, if you have a CDN on top like Cloudflare, this tool will give you just the green certification of Cloudflare. So I totally recommend you to investigate further and understand where your website is hosted. So I recommend you to take action now and give your contribution, because every small thing that you can do can have a very big impact, because we are all responsible and every small action counts. So for your companies and for your clients, you can suggest also to set sustainable development companies. This is the logo of Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations that was created in 2015 as part of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And this aims to address global challenges and create a better and more sustainable future for all. And for what regards us and in e-commerce world, those are the points that I selected where we can focus on. So the number 7, so clean energy, which relates to green hosting, so using renewable energy to power our e-commerce. The point 9, infrastructure and innovation. The point 12, responsible consumption, so reducing waste, optimizing resources. The point 13, to the climate action, so reducing energy consumption. The point 15, life on land, supporting eco-friendly practices, reducing the packaging. And the point 17, partnerships, and encourages global communities like Meet Magento, for example, in my case, to promote sustainable activities and talk about this topic. How can you know what carbon footprint leaves your website or your e-commerce or even your agency website? You can use one of two tests on this website, ecograder.com, which use a mix of Google API and the Green Web Foundation and calculates the total emission of each page of your website. So, and the website carbon.com, which do something similar. I recommend you also to show your commitment and show your results, as this e-commerce did on their website, but you have plenty of other examples like Patagonia and so on, and show what are you doing for this impact. So every small things, even a landing page or the small logo of the Green Web Foundation can create awareness, because is that what we need now. So my commitment started in 2020, so almost 5 years ago, where I planted 100 trees in Guatemala with Magentiamo. Then I started Bhoost as a green hosting company in the core values. And then in 2022, I started talking about this topic, which is not my core topic, but I wanted to do something different and something with more impact. And then I switched everything to green hosting. Then in 2023, I joined the Green Web Foundation. They approved my application. And now, 2025, after 4 years, I joined Host as a new company, which share the values with me. I'm speaking here, so this is also a small impact that can lead to big results in the future, I hope. And I'm also organizing a sustainability event in our data center in Italy. So if you are around in May, I'm happy to invite you to visit the location and to talk about this topic. So this is a takeaway, what you can do today. So start checking your hosting. Is it powered by renewable energy? Evaluate your shipping providers. So can you offer a lower impact delivery options? Audit your packaging. Can you reduce plastic or reduce the boxes where you ship the products? Improve your website performance. Use new technologies, new solutions like UVA, for example, for front-end, and improve every day the performance of your website, because the standards has continually changes. So always improve your website performance. And then offset your emission. Found projects that can remove carbon from the atmosphere or plant trees. That is the only thing that we can do. So we can solve everything overnight, you know. So we can set small goals inside our companies and do small steps day by day. So I wrote down this phrase that I like: we only have one Earth, so we better start taking care of it, starting from IT, which is our world. So thank you very much, and hope that you will take an action just now.
Thank you so much, Andrea. That was a very interesting talk. I'm sure there'll be lots of questions for you. Let me know if you do have a question, and I'll come over to you with a mic. Anyone? So I was quite interested that it is a green hosting company. So what kind of certification do you need to be called a green company?
At the moment now we are taking the certification, the ISO 14001. We certificate all the compliance with green hosting, with the green energy, and we have certification from the providers that give us the energy to run the data center. So, and then also inside the company, you need to follow some rules like reducing the use of papers and plastics and so on. So, but basically you should have some certification to prove that you are running a green hosting. So our data center, we have certification to do this, and now we are also finalizing the 14001 ISO certification.
Wow. So was that a long process? Like, how much time did it take you to get to meet all of the requirements for the certification?
Yeah, the company is working on this certification for the last 6 months, and before we get other certification like the 27001 for the processes and the 9001 for the security data and so on. So it's very important to get certification and to understand where are you storing your data to not only to be green, but also to protect data and to store them safely. Because, for example, in Europe, we have many rules to follow. And now, for example, next year, there is another, not next year, and we are already in 2025, there is the European Accessibility Act. And so every year, Europe is delivering new laws and new standards, and we always have to apply and to make things correctly, to do things better and better, and that's it.
Yes, I'll give you a minute.
So, Andrea, thank you very much. Very interesting stuff. So, how can we know that we are actually making an impact on, because apart from the screenshot, you know, and I'm sure that's must to be backed by some action or some project or whatever, but how can people really believe, no, that what they are doing and the little bit more money that they are spending, it's to actually make a difference?
Yeah, I can go a bit here, for example, or just, okay, I don't remember the number, but well, that's a good question. You just need to commit yourself and your company to do something. And once you have done it, you should prove also that you have done something. As I said before, for example, in my case, I'm doing little steps to do this, and I show my commitments doing and also talking about this, and demonstrate through certification, through documentation, and publishing them on the website. And then we have the proof of that. For example, the little forest we planted in Guatemala has a small impact, and now we are planning to do more for every client that we get. We want to plant a tree and do something more. There are plenty of associations that can help you to do this. And then we were talking about this before, and I know that you have many clients around the world, and many of them are shipping using trucks all around. So companies like this that are, for example, delivering products, they know that they are polluting a lot, and what they can do, they can compensate the pollution they are creating with delivery with other actions. So, for example, if you have a very big consumption of you are creating a lot of tons of CO2 in the air, you can do other action, compensating. For example, I am creating 100 tons of CO2 in the air. Let's plant so many trees to compensate that. Because at the moment, we cannot use only electric vehicles. That also electric vehicles has the impact, you know. So we can just need to commit and demonstrate to the people and to the clients and to the world that we are doing something. And just talking and taking action and see where are we storing our data and where are we running our website. We are making website faster. We are already doing something. So let's continue this way.
Thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank you.
I will let you all find him at the after party if you have any more questions.
Thank you.